Hello, Lynn. Hello, everybody. Okay, I cannot meet you, Lynn, okay? Go ahead and send your request. Okay, you're there. Hello, baby. Okay, they will come in 5 minutes, okay? Just opened earlier. So the stage is yours.
Okay. As soon as people come. Otherwise, have nothing to
Okay,
say.
okay, good.
Today is going to be very, very special. And Tofik, you need to listen to it too because you're a part of this. As soon as people come, we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. Let me check. Yes. Hello.
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Check your wait. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Check your waiting room.
Yeah, I'm doing it. No one is here yet. Okay. Great.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't want Social Security disability.
Okay.
Check the waiting room, Tofik.
Yes, I'm checking now. Okay. No one is here yet.
Okay, well, it's just about one. Give him a couple of minutes.
Gordon is here.
Oh, great.
Hello, sir.
Hello there, Mr. Tapper.
Hello there, Lynn. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great.
Wonderful.
Working hard and not hardly working. Okay, great. We have Lizzie. So let me give you the format of the meeting, Gordon. For the first
Okay.
20 minutes, we'll just listen to
Hello,
Kristine do her. We'll listen to Kristine do her thing, and then after she does her thing in front of people, we're gonna cut them off and say goodbye to them, and for 20 minutes, and then you, myself, and Tofik and Christina will meet separately.
That's fine.
Now, what is your date for Kenya? I have a reason for asking you. When are you going?
Could you repeat this?
When are you going to Kenya?
I don't have any plans at this point.
Oh, okay. Because when you go, Gavana Black Messiah, I know people with crazy names. I can't pronounce half their names, but they're all nuts. Is going
Right.
to be doing a thing at Kristine's Women's Empowerment meeting. I told them I'm leaving the dates open to raise funding for her situation and also support Lynn's kids. And I think if you watch this guy in action, he is amazing.
Oh, okay.
He opened an orphanage by himself. I didn't give him one penny. He opened an orphanage in Ghana called Lynn's Kids Orphanage. Of course, now I send books because I feel guilty, but
Right.
this guy is such a philanthropist. And I know he doesn't have all that kind of money, but he does. Lynn's Kids is about giving so others can be living, not taking. I eliminate the takers, right? I'd like you to meet Gordon Tapper. This is Lasita Shalev from, I don't know why I get crazy when I know we should. Hi, Lasita. Lasita, unmute yourself.
Lasita has problem with connection. Her video is stagnant. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Tofik, contact Kristine because I don't care how many people are here.
Okay.
Oh, there's
Okay,
Lasita.
doing it now.
Okay, Lasita, I'd like you to meet Gordon Tapper. He's the president of the African Congress in the UN.
Hello.
He's a very important person. Okay, and here we have Sanam, who is another new woman's advocate, and she's from Iran, but she's living in New York. So we have a whole bunch of new people here that are just
How is Kristine?
Oh, okay, that's what I want. As soon as I want to introduce her. I was going to play music, but I'm not going to get dramatic because when I speak about Kristine, it's like I'm speaking about somebody who's in my blood. Okay, as soon as she's here, I'm ready.
Hello,
Okay.
Tom. Good
Yes.
to see you, friend.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Good to
I'm
see
here.
you, and you're looking good.
Yeah, thanks God, I'm better. Yeah.
You're
And
He
you
looking.
know
drives me
what?
crazy. He looks good, but he drives me crazy. How about that?
No. You know what, Gordon? During the 2 weeks in hospital, I suffered a lot, the pain and everything. But the savings was really zero. I will tell you later what. So
I'm going to talk privately, not now.
I went out of the hospital second time with no endoscopy, nothing, because the service was really so low.
Okay,
And
Tofi,
they took
later.
me like, they took me like a robot,
Yes.
kind of making, it's all about money, especially for
Tofi,
NYU.
where is Kristine? Without talking about you, where is Kristine?
Yeah, no. He asked me about Kristine is
Well,
not.
I said we have
wasn't
plenty
here.
of private time.
So I saw another doctor, different than
It just
NYU,
goes on and on and on.
and I'm healed. Thanks God.
Okay,
Thanks God.
so today's
I'm
meeting.
know that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank God.
That's
Today's
enough.
meeting is a very special meeting,
Mhm.
and I'm just waiting. You said she was here, and I don't know. I'm beeping her.
She tried to log in, baby.
Okay, good.
She's
Give her a
trying
minute or
to
two.
log
It takes
in.
that time.
Yeah, she's joining slowly. Her internet
Okay.
connection, maybe.
I have all the time in the world for her. I want to tell you all, since it's just a couple of us, and hi, Sanam. It's always a pleasure to see you. Hello, Sanam. Sanam, can you unmute yourself and show your face? There's a reason. Sanam. Okay.
I'm reminding her, okay?
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay,
I want to see her
sending
face.
her.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah, sure.
Sanam is a new member. She works with me in New York Cares on all of my crazy volunteer projects. She follows me, which is always a mistake because it means more work. And she's just a wonderful, she's working with immigrants who are coming in as a lawyer. She's just an amazing, amazing person. You're unmuting her. I don't know, maybe she's away from the thing. Hi, Sanam. Okay, whatever. I just feel the person I need the most is Christina. So as you can see, now Lasita with the long blonde hair over here, the flowing blonde hair, she's a monthly donor to Lynn's kids. She gives every month because she believes. And in return, she gets copies when we can. We send her a copy of our books. And she writes for our books. Lasita now knows that she can write. And she's a good writer. Remember, Lasita, the next book is due on Wednesday, Body Shaming. Okay, that's what we're up to. And then after that, we have September, I think 15th or whatever, Ringing the Bell for Cancer. And that's those are the next two. One is Mr. Rights and one is Saving Souls Women's Network. So we're really a little bit busy here. Okay, so now we're waiting for you. Okay. So as I was saying, Gavanna Black, and it'll be interesting for Lasita to hear this too. I said to him today, if you're going to get over to Kenya to do a concert, I haven't told Kristine yet, to do a concert for Kristine, I'd like you to do it when Gordon Tapper's here. He also runs an NGO, and I think you would like to meet him. And I said, just tell me what it's going to be for you to get over there. He says, if I'm doing a concert to help in women's empowerment, I don't need any money from anybody. I'll get there. I'll cover my expenses with some of the proceeds, but the rest go to Lynn's kids and to Kristine. So I said, don't you want money to get there? He said, no, you know better than that. I just, when it comes to certain topics like children and women's empowerment, I'm there for you. And he really has been. I mean, he has just been an absolutely amazing person. And Lasita, he opened an orphanage in Ghana called Lynn's Kids Orphanage, which really touched my heart. I knew nothing about it until he showed me the slide.
Here.
Who's here? Happy New Year.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can rock and roll. Hi, Kristine. Hi, Kristine. Let's give her a minute to get her.
Yeah, she's joining. You know, the
I
internet.
know the internet there
Kenya
is so bad.
late. Mhm.
Hi, Sanam. Okay, Sanam just wave to Gordon Tapper. He's from one of the people I told you who's from the UN. He also runs a nonprofit. It's called Giving
Hello.
Hands. Is that right, Gordon? Giving Hands or Helping Hands?
Give them a hand foundation.
I love it. Give them a hand foundation. And Sanam, you want to tell them a little bit about the work that you do? Because your work is excellent.
Sure. Well, I live in New York City in the Bronx, and I work as an attorney. And during COVID, I obtained my associate's degree in nursing, and also in an attempt to, as they say, stay out of trouble, I volunteer with New York Cares.
Woohoo!
And with that, there are a lot of different kind of projects. You
Tell
know,
them what you're doing with immigrants.
Mhm. So one of the things that we do is, so there's a couple of things. One is actually for on the legal side, like if there's a deportation case or particular issue. And then on another area, it is more focused on the citizenship application and getting them ready for, in terms of language skills. You know, many people, they may, not only their households, but their neighborhoods may be ones where another language other than English is spoken. So they, and to be honest, a lot of the information in terms of civics and history would be difficult or new for people even born here, born and raised here. So in terms of that, that is another avenue in terms of citizenship initiative that New York Cares I work with.
Okay, and just tell them where you're from.
I am from, well, my family's from Iran originally, and then when they moved here, I grew up in Connecticut, and then I moved to New York in 2008.
Okay, can you unmute Kristine, Tawfiq? Tawfiq.
Good
Okay,
evening, everyone.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to introduce this wonderful lady who is a soul sister. When I say everybody here is a soul sister, Sanam, when we worked on these projects together, oh my God, it was just wonderful. Lasita, she's been a soul sister from the day I met her. But when I met Kristine, something different happened to me. I saw so much of what I've done, and I saw a lot of what Gordon has done in our time in trying to help people in a poor country which is getting no help. Though I have some wonderful news for you when we meet alone with Gordon in the list when the meeting is over. Wonderful news. You're going to love it. This woman gives her time to educate other women and to empower other women. And anybody who takes their time to do that, to me, is just a gift from God. So when she said to me something about being a blessing, God should bless me, I said, God bless me, he sent you. And I meant that, Kristine, because what you're doing, I so admire what you're doing. I talk about you all the time. Okay, Kristine, the meeting is yours. I'm finished talking. Take it away and tell us all about what you do. You'll speak for like 20 minutes and then we'll meet alone with Gordon. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lynn, for giving me this opportunity
My pleasure.
to talk to my champions. My names are Kristine Yahama. I come from Kenya. I work with women at the sub-county, Shinyalu sub-county, and I work in Virembe sub-location and Shigoto sub-location. The poverty rate at Shinyalu is at 87%. We are blessed with the forest, the only tropical rainforest in Africa, that is Kakamega rainforest. And we have gold mining that is going on at Shingoto sublocation. The challenges that we are having as a community is our soils are very infertile and women are the backbone of the economy. Men are lost in drinking an illicit brew called changa. It renders them to an extent that they even don't see the value of having their kids and all the roles are left. The woman becomes like the head of the family, at the same time the mother. It becomes a challenge. And one of the things that is happening in my community, they don't value educating girl child. They believe you'll be married, you'll go and develop where you're going to be married. Women are very vulnerable to an extent that they get work, casual work, during the rainy season, whereby they can be invited to go and weed farms or even assist in planting. But as at the moment, as I'm speaking, right now is the dry season. So what these women are doing, they go to the Kakamega forest to collect firewood so that they can sell to at least afford a meal for the children. But what happens is, when they are found with forest wardens in the forest, these women, they negotiate for freedom by exchanging sex for firewood. And they cannot negotiate for safe sex. And that's why you find HIV is high in women in my community. What I've done with these women, I've put them in support groups. These support groups, whereby they try to fight the stigma and discrimination related to HIV. When you go to the gold mine, our women are being barred from entering the gold underground because of cultural reasons. An example is, when a woman is in menstruation period, she's not supposed to go near the gold mine. And when a woman, for instance, enters there, she comes with a band of men to the community. That thus becomes a challenge. So what I did, I did mapping of these women, and I initiated a process whereby I had to have a dialogue meeting with them. And first, one of the things I told them to do, to draw in a map how they expect how their village can look like. They drew houses, they drew trees and everything. But the challenge is one. If you look at the gold mining site, you find men are like wives now. They wait for the wives to bring things on the table, yet their wives are being barred from entering there. What they use to clean the gold is called the mercury. And this mercury now is affecting the lives of these women. For instance, you find expectant mothers, they give birth to children with defects. The silicose causes tuberculosis. It becomes a challenge to these women. And you find like these women, for instance, those who have been diagnosed with tuberculosis, they don't adhere to the drugs. They default, they become multi-drug resistant. And it becomes a challenge because it spreads, that the TB spreads among the community. Now it reaches a point whereby I always ask them, why aren't you adhering to your drugs? They'll tell me, you cannot take drugs in an empty stomach. It becomes a challenge for me, whereby I've now been forced to come up with a kitchen garden. This kitchen garden is the one whereby I can sell the little food so that I can support them. And to an extent that I've decided to come up with some seeds, whereby these seeds I give them, they also sell. And then in those groups, they come up with the village saving and lendings, whereby they'll save and then they get savings and then they lend each other. And then by the end of the year, it's when now they sit down and contribute the shares that they've gotten. That poses a challenge. Last week, I had an opportunity to meet women, and they told me one of the reasons we're having problems is with our lands. You find like they have no rights and even access to their own land, whereby their in-laws take advantage of these women. They go to an extent that they even throw them out of their land. When they go to the assistant chief for help, this assistant chief, they're being bribed. And you find now, they don't assist the widows, nor the youth, nor even the women. they're left vulnerable, and thus it becomes empathy to the community. It's when now I decided to sit with them so that we can see how best we can address these issues of land rights. And we are still in the process on how these women, I can empower them so that they can be able to have identity card. An identity card in Kenya is like a passport. Nobody will know you without an identity card. Thus, even getting a title deed is not easy without an identity card. It becomes a challenge. So, part of the work that I'm trying to do with them right now, I'm trying to tell them what their rights are and the opportunities for them to influence the decisions affecting them. Through this initiative of Land Initiative, my expectation is that these women will be able to speak from themselves through the watchdog land groups, whereby these women will be keeping an eye on their fellow women so that they are not being exploited by people known to them. And I've always told them, when your husband has died, you need to have two eyes. One eye, you look at what is happening in the funeral, and the other one, ensure that you keep your identity card, the title deed, and your husband's documents. Otherwise, if we don't do that, it's when you end up being chased away from the land that your husband bought. And if your husband bought the land with you, it means you're the legitimate person to take over the deceased person's property. Thus, it becomes a challenge. I welcome any questions from members.
I want to know, how many people do you have helping you? Do you have like a force of people helping you? Do you have a team? Because I know in Lynn's kids, I have a team. I have my friend Fran, I have Tofik, I have George, I have Michael. I have people out there in the field with me when we're feeding the homeless. It's not just Tofik and Lynn. I have a team. Do you have a team working with you?
Yes, I have a team of 10 people.
Wonderful.
And among the 10 people, we have community health volunteers. Because you find all the issues that you are doing, it affects also their health. And that's how we are working together to ensure that we build synergies in all our respective activities so that no one is left behind. But one of the challenges I've seen that is happening, I happen to participate in a gender forum whereby we were supposed to make some input. I remember those deliberations, we took them, they were taken for negotiations in Italy, but I wasn't able to attend the July one due to funds. I didn't have somebody to support me to go and attend that negotiation. But we have the final draft of negotiations that is supposed to be in October. But we don't have any funding to go because part of the deliberations that we are speaking about is to do with gender equality and also the right to women to their properties. And what I saw is people don't seem to understand or value the value of women. Women, yes, we are producers. And if we are producers and we're not getting any income from our produce, we'll be doing nothing and will not be able to develop even our own small villages.
Does anybody else have any questions? Sanam, do you have a question to ask Kristine?
How long have you been involved in this work?
I've been involved in this work for 12 years.
Very interesting. It seems like very
You done some
meaningful.
wonderful wonder. Here are some pictures Tofik is showing you from the website. And what made you? Yeah, it's similar to Sanam's question. What made you? What turned you on to this project? I know when I started with Lynn's Kids, it was because of a gentleman from Sierra Leone who talked about how sad, how terrible it was that the children didn't have books. Being a child activist, it was easy for me to jump in and do my thing. Not easy, believe me. It brought a lot of headaches. But the point is, it was a wonderful thing to do. And he got publicity and he got what he needed. And what made you want to do this?
What made me want to do this is I used to work in a community called Haega. In Haega, I found out that women are the ones who are leading in taking the illicit brew, and they left their children being their own head of families. It reached a point where children will go to school without shoes, with torn uniform. When I saw that, it didn't encourage me. And what I came to realize is these children were very bright in school, and they will go to school without even one meal. Even when they leave their house, the parents don't know that their children have gone to school. So what I did, there's a supermarket that I used to go here in Kakamega called Yako Supermarket. I actually met the proprietor of that supermarket, and I told him, there's a group I'm working with at Museno. How best can you support this community? It's when he told me, why can't you write, I'm a member of Lions Club, why can't you write to Lions Club? But us, what we always do is that members just contribute. We can see how best to contribute to this community. It's when now I had an opportunity to bring those Asians to that community. And what they saw, they told me, no, I don't think this is Kenya. I don't think people live the way these people are living. It's when I told them, if you can assist us educate these children will be the change agents for the community. Because looking at their parents, it's very difficult to change them. So why can't we begin changing these children? And how are we going to change these children? Why can't we take them to school? It's when now we took them to a school called the Donald Romeo Community School. And God has been faithful to these children. These children did the exams, they passed so well. And what they did, they've come back to that community. They are trying to address the issue about illicit brew. And again now, the parents, we happen to run voluntary counseling and testing. It's so sad that in that community, almost 100% of the people there, they're living HIV. Why? Due to the illicit brew, they used to engage in different behaviors there. It's when now I've tried several times to take their behavioral change and communication so that we can change their attitude, and women now can find their role and behave like the mothers, to lead by example in their homes.
Thank you very much. Theta, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Sorry. But lovely to see you, Kristine.
Is this the right week or the wrong week, Lucita? Am I on the right week or the wrong week?
This is a down day, but it's all right. I'm not going to.
Okay, next week we'll have another meeting, and that way I'll remember to keep it in, okay, whatever. I can't keep all my meetings straight. That's the problem. I also, before we break into our own meeting, and I told you I'm not going to keep you that long today because this was important for us to hear. We are all women's empowerment, whether a man or we're women. We are here to empower other people. But before we do that, I want to welcome back, and she really isn't in the shape to talk, but my friend Leah, who just came to observe by listening quietly.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah. It's
Welcome,
wonderful.
Leah. Welcome
It's
back.
wonderful. It's always wonderful to have you here. You are in my soul and you're in my
Raji. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Leah is also from the UK. She does a lot of very wonderful, projects with people. So, Leah, we're glad to see you, and we're glad that you're here. Welcome home. And right now, what I'm going to say is I will see you all next week. And Kristine, Gordon, and Tofik and I will stay for another meeting that we're having.
Leah,
So goodbye, everyone.
Leah is having the microphone. Go ahead, Leah.
Go ahead, Leah. She didn't want to talk. She told me that. Okay. Leah did not feel like talking, Tawfiq. So
Okay.
okay.
Can
Leah.
I ask question to Kristine?
Yes.
Have you ever been out of Kenya? I saw among your pics that there was some Italian or British association who you work with, and just we want to know if you have any collaboration with association out of Kenya.
Thank you for your question.
Mhm.
What happened is, sometime early this year in March, we had students coming to study in our forest, Kakamega Forest. When they came to visit our forest, they saw the challenges that I'm facing and working with the women in the community.
Yeah.
It's when now they told me they are having this called the Community Food Forum that was there in Italy. And they told me part of the issues that are being addressed in this forum, the negotiations, they are the ones.
Connection.
Okay. So that is the end of the questioning. If nobody else has any questions, we're going to end the meeting for everyone but Gordon, Tawfiq, myself, and Lasita. You don't have any questions? Okay. Okay, everyone. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much
And
for
I tried
coming.
to I told them the issues
ahead.
that we have, and also I had to go and defend.
Go ahead, Tawfiq.
Yeah, go ahead. Kristine is talking. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And then I had to go and defend the case studies of what is happening in Kenya. During the negotiations, what came to me is that majority of the people who were in that meeting, they never seem to understand what women are going through, to an extent that they even brought a UN expert who also was sharing about women's issues that are happening. And also she had to come in and try and explain to them issues to do what intersectionality is and things like that. But now what happens is I wasn't able to join the second round of negotiations since I didn't have funding. It's when now they came and explained to me we had a challenge in the second negotiations that happened in July because we didn't have somebody who would have spoken on behalf of women. It's when now they told me they're having the final draft of negotiations that will be in October. It's when they were asking me, how do you find it? It's when I told them it's unfortunate I don't have any funding and I won't be able to make it. I would have loved to go there so that I could speak on what is happening to my women and also give them the examples of what is happening so that it can be documented in the guidelines so that we see how best some of these issues can be addressed, especially now in Kenya that we have also FGM that is going on. It's not good, becomes a challenge. That's making it stigma for women, especially now even to go for positions, becomes a challenge. Even women cannot speak for themselves. And that's why now you find, like, for instance, like now, we're having a challenge with schools. You find like girls now in schools, they are now exchanging sex for sanitary towels. It becomes an issue. And again, they don't, if you look at the school register, you find girls, for instance, in a month, they can miss up to 8 days in school. It becomes a challenge.
Good.
So one of the things I wanted to push forward in the negotiation is, if Kenya, they can agree with it, develop a policy whereby, as they're providing free education, they should also include things to do with sanitary towels. It will be a plus so that we can be able to keep our girls in school. Thank you.
Thank you. Tawfiq, can you take off the white screen? I don't know why we have a white screen.
It is Leah who's trying to share.
Oh, okay,
something.
she's saying thank you. Okay.
Okay.
I told you she can't talk, so that's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
She tried to share something. Okay.
Right. Okay. It doesn't matter. She wanted to say thank you. That's good enough.
My
okay,
pleasure.
everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. And now Gordon, stay on. Everyone else can leave, but Gordon, Kristine, myself, and Tawfiq. I'll see you all next week so we can get the right time in. Love you all. Bye, Leah. I'll speak to you soon. Love you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Be well.
Bye.
Okay. Take the white screen off, Tawfiq.
Yes, I'm doing it.
This is making me crazy.
Yes,
great.
done.
Just the way I
Done.
want it. Okay. So I
Yeah.
have some, I want to see Kristine's face. Where's Kristine's beautiful face? Because I have some wonderful news. And I told you, I'm like you, I don't sit back. I believe that if I believe in somebody. Now, I had a young man the other day asked me to mentor him. He turned out what I could do for him, not what he could do for Lynn's kids, was saving souls. He didn't seem to have enough time for us, but he wanted me to teach him and a group of kids. That didn't work for me. But with you, I saw how much you're contributing, so I felt like I should do something. So I was telling Gordon about this before. One of my very favorite people in this whole world, his name is Gavana Black Messiah. He is, I know people with crazy names. He is an entertainer and a philanthropist from Ghana. When I say a philanthropist, he's not rich. He opened an orphanage for kids called Lynn's Kids Orphanage in Ghana. Occasionally, what he used to do for me years ago was he used to do these concerts and give the group that he was going to, like he did a concert in Ghana for a teacher there, and she got 40%, Lynn's kids got 20%, and he covered his expenses, which he's supposed to do. Now, I asked him if he would go, without your permission, because I wanted to see how you felt about it, if he would come to where you live in Kenya, and he would do a concert. He's a musician. You're not going to pay him anything. I have everything handled here. He would do a concert, and people would have to do something, even if it's a couple of dollars or a couple of cents or whatever, to pay to come into this concert, and you would get most of it to fund your project. How does that sound?
Unmute yourself, Kristine.
Yeah, she's
It
unmuted.
sounds,
Okay.
it sounds good. It sounds good.
Okay, so
And
what
I'll
we're
be
gonna,
looking forward working with him.
oh yes, well, I'm definitely gonna send an email where you will meet with him. And I was waiting for Mr. Tapper to come to go to Kenya till we did it, but he doesn't seem to be sure of his date, so we might do it before. I'm going to speak to Gavana. Again, I spoke to him this morning, so you and I will meet and we'll talk about dates. And we'll see, okay, Gordon, you wanted this meeting because you wanted to talk to Kristine.
Yes.
So I'm giving it up to you right now.
Hello, Christina.
Hello, Mr. Gordon. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Exactly what's the name of your community? And could you spell it for me? The name of your community?
It's called Virembe. V-I-R-H.
R-H?
E-M.
R-H. Yeah.
Kristine, you can share it by chat.
Sorry, yeah?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Type it in, Kristine.
You can share it. Type it on the chat.
Okay, let me type it. Yeah?
Okay.
Oh,
sure.
okay, fine.
Yeah. Monsieur Gordon.
Yes, my friend.
I miss you.
I miss you too. And I'm always looking at your cuisine, your menu and everything, and say, wow, look at that.
Right there. How about those book covers?
Okay, one second. I lost the chat. Okay, chat, that is, okay, VIRHEMBE. Okay, great.
Okay.
So, Christina, what is the structure of your organization back in, before I get to that, what is the population of your community? How many women are really affected by, the things you're saying to me? I know it is widespread, but I'm talking about your community.
1,500 women.
1,500 women.
Wow.
That's a significant number of women. Even if there's one person who's suffering like that, it's a problem. Okay. And where is your community located in terms of distance from, say, Nairobi, or where is that?
We are in the western part of Kenya. It's 8 hours drive from Nairobi to where I am. Yes.
I see. And what is the structure of your organization? How do you work? How do you help the women in the community?
We don't have any funding as per now.
Mm-hmm.
What we are doing is we have kitchen gardens whereby we are doing organic farming, whereby we are doing organic farming whereby we don't use fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
We are planting vegetables, arrowroots, sweet potatoes. We sell them, and then part of it is being plowed back to the organization, whereby we use it to support the communities.
I see.
Now we've put a few women. We have a few women. The women that I'm working with, the 1,500, we've clustered them in groups, whereby now they're also doing their own farming, organic farming, whereby now we are calling them Vivembe baskets. The produce that are the organic products that they remove from their farms, they sell it to the Shinyalu sub-county during the market days. And then part of the money, it assists them taking their children to school and provide a meal for them in their homes.
Oh, how wonderful.
Okay, let's take a look at education. What about the schools that are there? And is there just cultural or is there very active resistance to girls going to school?
What happens now, Kenya, they introduced free primary education. What happens, you'll school for free, but now when it reaches going to secondary school, you need to pay school fees. Most parents, what they decide to do, they'll prefer to educate a boy child because they believe this boy child will develop them. But a girl child, they'll tell her, you need to go and work as a house help to enable them pay the school fees of the boy child.
But there is not an active resistance to a girl going to school. Like, they wouldn't block her from going or demonstrate against the school or something like that.
What happens, we have tried.
If the parents send them, they will be okay to go to school.
Yeah, they can be okay to go to school as long as you have a surety that somebody will pay for them their fees. But now it becomes a challenge because even if you look at their farms, they are very small and infertile. They cannot be able to sustain the child in school at the same time sustain the family food in the home. It becomes a challenge.
Are there more than one schools, or there is one school and it's accessible to all of the kids who that they don't have to walk 4 or 5 miles to get to school, etc.?
No, we also have day schools. But now it becomes a challenge, as I've explained to you. When it reaches to the time when these girls are on menses, they don't attend school. Most of the time they're at home.
Right.
And then again, you find like in these schools, as much as they say it's free, how free is this school? It's not that free because there are some things that they request from students, especially right now we have what they've introduced called CBC, curriculum-based competence, whereby now these children, when they go to school, you have to submit a fee like 30,000 to enable them do things like catering, things like even farming in the school. But now the challenge is when they go back to their homes, they're unable to take that. And you find like now that CBC, what happens is you'll be trained in school, but now they insist when you go back to your home, let your mother assist you cook some food. Then your mother takes it in a photo in the phone, and then they share with the teacher. But it is unfortunate even the parents themselves cannot afford even a smartphone. It becomes a challenge. Now we find like now it discourages them, even they don't even go to school now. You find like now even the children there all over. It's when now we are trying with the assistant chief to ensure if we find any child at home, we tell the parents, we'll take action against you. But now the parents, she tells you now, this child is a government child. And who is the government? You are the government. It's when I always tell them, yes, I'm the government and you're also a government. But now they tell you, what do you expect me to do? I'm unable to support my child. Now it becomes a challenge. Now, and even if you risk to assist the child like today, When the child will be sent home again, they'll say, that's your child, go to your mother there to assist you. Now it becomes a challenge. And you know, now you cannot chase away a child. You have to assist this child. Like, for instance, what I can tell you today, there is a girl, during the school holidays, she became pregnant. Then she's admitted right now in Mukumu Mission Hospital. She delivered very well, twin babies. But now they've detained this girl. It's unfortunate that she lost the twins, but they've detained this girl in hospital. So today I went there in the hospital. They told me there's no shortcut. You'll just have to pay the bill. Now I told them, you know, the more this girl is here in the hospital, the bill is accruing. Why can't you agree then? I'm ready to give my identity card or even my passport so that I ensure I try and assist this girl. I try and sell part of my produce so that I can come and pay the bill. Now they've also refused. They've told me that one is not a security. It's when now I've come from that place. It's really devastating to me because now I don't know what I'm going to do with this girl.
Okay. What is the healthcare situation in the community? Do you have a clinic? You have a hospital? What is it? And how do people get attention at the hospital? They have to pay?
In Kenya, what happens is we have 3 levels of hospital. We have the level 1, level 3, and level 4 and 5. At the moment, our community, since COVID came, it came with a lot of things. People lost jobs. My community are not going for level 4 and 5 because they request of out-of-pocket money. And when they got now to level 2 and 3, it is free. It is free, but there are no drugs. Healthcare workers themselves, they're inadequate in those health facilities. There are no equipment in that health facility. When the community is being referred to level 4 and 5, they won't go there. Instead, they'll decide to go back in the house. Only at night to call us. For instance, me, they always call me, come and assist me in the house. It's when now I'll try and reach out. We used to have an MCA, but it's unfortunate people didn't elect him, who will come handy and assist me ferry these women to the level 5. But now as we take them to the level 5, you find even having the money for registering a card, they don't have. Now again, we are forced to pay for that. And then now, we haven't decided now on the doctor when she says he or she is admitting the patient. It becomes a challenge. Again, now we have another stress of how we are going to assist that person come out of that hospital. In Kenya, health is business. Without money, you won't get treatment.
Okay. What is the HIV situation? And what is the COVID situation there?
Let me say COVID.
Yeah.
The COVID situation at the moment, it's like it has subsidized a bit.
Yes.
And what happened is they were giving out the vaccines. In fact, when they did that, when COVID was in 2020, it was a challenge whereby people now were also not going to the health facilities. People are not getting tested. They're even not going for the vaccine. It's when now me and the rest of my colleagues, we decided to work with the CHVs, whereby we identify those households and then we organize an outreach with in charge of Shinyalu Model Health Facility. We organize, they come to a church, they come and vaccinate the community. And then when it comes to the second round of vaccine, again, we organize how they'll come and vaccinate the community. That's why now you find the cases at the moment are very low in my community. And then HIV AIDS is very high, as I've told you. People are engaging in sex due to the poverty that is there. So it's not there. And when you try to advise them on how to go about it, it's like they'll tell you they have no option. They're trying to fight poverty. And how are they addressing their poverty? The exchanges in all other evil ways. It's when now we've decided to put them in support groups. In these support groups, whereby we are trying to educate them through behavioral change communications, so that these champions are the change agents, so that they go and disseminate the same to other members of the community.
Okay, obviously a very serious situation. On the 29th of September, during the General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly, I'm organizing an event. It's called Africa Open for Business. But it revolves around what we call the Red Card campaign, ending discrimination and violence against women and girls. And the reason why we say the red card is because if you know soccer, you know football, and when you make a foul, when you violate, when you do something that is unfair, the referee gives you the red card. And that's why we call it the Red Card campaign. Pointing out, men who are doing horrible things to women. And of course, we have a number of speakers who are going to be speaking on different subjects, but that is something different. I am really very moved by what you are describing and by your effort. And I would like the opportunity to arrange a fundraiser for one thing, and hopefully not just a one-time occurrence. But in addition to that, I would like to take a mission of medical people, of educators, of psychologists, and people who can interact with the community and see the difficulties the community is having. Discuss agriculture with them and see how we can help with farming, etc. And healthcare needs as well, education. So I am going to be promising you that I am going to put together a coalition of some of my fellow NGOs and humanitarians to support what you're doing, have a fundraiser, and take a mission into your community as well, to see things close up and to help as well. So I will promise that I will do that, but I do need a paper from you. I would need a paper where you're describing what your situation is and what you need, so I can share with my colleagues. And I'm going to ask Tawfiq also if he could edit the video of this meeting to what you are saying, so I can circulate with my friends.
Wonderful.
And see what we can do.
I will do that.
Okay, Tawfiq. Yeah.
Do you need? I guess you don't need the whole video. Just to clip the clip for
the whole video.
what Kristine said, right? The clip.
It's so that we can hear what what Kristine is saying.
You got it. Yeah.
So he's promising you a mission of people coming and funding. And that's a very good, Mr. Tapper is a man of his word.
You know what? I will make a special video for Kristine so she can have this video clip shared the right way with your people. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. As soon as possible. So I would like to be able to do this before our General Assembly event.
Oh, I love it.
I can do it tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow. No problem.
Okay.
You know us. We don't hold back. You know us. Ask us yesterday. That's it.
I believe in Kristine. I believe in Kristine. And I loved what she's doing.
Oh, so
and
what?
more
That's
than
why
that,
I want you to meet her.
My wife, this beloved lady in front of you, really every day praise what Kristine is doing.
I believe in what she's doing.
I am African. I'm Moroccan African. And we have a lot of brothers and sisters from all South, East, and West Africa. And I will tell you something, what they have in common. They only want someone to help, and they have really fantastic skills. So that's why I will do that for Kristine, and you will get it tomorrow, dear Gordon.
Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
another thing, just one more thing. How are you
Mhm.
doing working on my room for December, Gordon? Am I
Mhm.
seeing it?
On
About
your, could you repeat
about
that?
the room that I asked you to get me for December.
You said around 30 persons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
no more.
what time of the day?
I want you to give me the date that's available. It could be any date you have the first week of December.
No, I mean hour, the hour of the day.
1 o'clock, whatever the hour works for them. If 1 o'clock isn't good, they give me a different hour. I really don't care. I
And
just
you're
want to
thinking
have this meeting.
And you're thinking of a 2-hour event?
Yes, we don't need any
Yes.
more to kill people. If you do any more than 2 hours, they fall asleep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. Okay, I'm working on that. Let's see what
Okay, good.
but it will be at the UN.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
What I
guys.
would love for that, and I know that I'm overreaching, and my soul sister over here is going to smile. I would love to find a way to fundraise to get Christina over for the meeting, because she is what I want everybody to see when it comes to women's empowerment. So if we have a way to get money to get her here, I have a place for her to stay.
Yeah,
And,
I want to add something just for Kristine. I saw from your pics and you sent me that you are a social worker, right? Officially, right?
Yes, I'm a
Okay.
social worker.
Please resend me the pic of you taking the blood test or the
oh, I love that one.
oh my God, with
When she was
one
taking blood from children and
maybe one HIV patient, right? You have it?
oh my God.
You have it, Kristine?
I'll
This
share
pic.
with you.
Okay, send
Okay.
to me.
You just email the picture to him. Okay, Kristine and Gordon, you have anything else you'd like to say, Gordon?
Nothing else. Nothing else.
Okay,
I'll
Gordon,
forward
you're
to
a
you.
man of your
Then
word. You
meet
know that I'm going to be after you. So we want to get Christina here for the December conference, and I'm going to depend on you for that. And Christina, you made a special deal with Christina, so that'll be wonderful. I have a room
Right.
for Christine to stay in my house, and I want all the women that I know, American women, we're good. I'm not going to say we're not good. Look how much I've done. But when you see somebody like Kristine, who empowers women in such a poor environment, it makes you want to open your heart. And Gordon does missions in other countries, so I know he's telling you the truth. He
Right.
takes groups of people into countries to try to help them. He does the fundraising. And separately, Kristine, Messiah Black, whatever he's calling himself this week, Gavana, he will definitely be in touch with you to do his own separate fundraising with you. So when I got back and I told you I was going to help you, I wasn't kidding. I was just working on a whole bunch of different things.
Thank
I
you.
want to
Thank
add
you so much.
something for Kristine. This sir in front of you, he's down to earth.
Oh,
And he really make things happen. So if he promises you for something,
he never says something that
sure our brother Gordon will do more than his best, and we all do respect him. It's not a praise, it's what you deserve, brother Gordon.
He's a wonderful person, and everybody sitting here is a wonderful person too.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we don't want to take anybody else's time. Kristine, I'll be speaking to you soon. And Gordon, thank you. I'm counting on you for my December, and certainly about Kristine. I know you're coming through for that.
Sure.
Okay, thanks, Tawfiq, for arranging the meeting as usual. Wonderful. And I will speak to all of you very soon. Bye.
All right.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Gordon,
Have
bye-bye.
a good
Bye-bye,
morning,
Kristine.
good day.
Okay,
Bye.
see you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Kristine, I remind you to send me the pics for
He knows, Tawfiq. He said
the ladies you are helping who are with HIV, and any other pic and videos, because I'm doing this video tonight and I want it to be the perfect one so Gordon and his collaboration.
Now he'll drive me crazy all night.
Yes,
That's fine.
no,
Right.
that's great.
Okay. Goodbye,
Okay,
everyone.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.